Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another exciting episode of the Daily High with your hosts, Matt McGregor and Tone Vase. Good morning, Tone. How are you, mate?
Morning. Still in Rotterdam. Having a great time here. And yeah, tomorrow I'll try to bring you guys some better visual scenery. And I'll do an interview today with the president of Prospera. So keep an eye on that on my YouTube channel.
Oh, that's very exciting. All right. Well, the market is looking pretty interesting right now. I've got a little feedback loop from you there, Tone. Is that you touching something? Nope.
Uh, you good?
Yeah, all good. All right. Well, Tone's going to explain what happened with the GBTC. Let's get into it.
Yeah, let me go to screen share because I didn't know what the hell was happening either yesterday for Monday's data. So weekly chart, we'll get to the charts after. So if you look at how many Bitcoin were purchased or sold on Monday, you will see many people do this, where GBTC sold 27,000 Bitcoin. And that's what
No way.
everyone was screaming how GBTC fell like 10%. So uh, this is this is incorrect. GBTC didn't really sell 27,000 Bitcoin. First of all, uh, people just panicked when they saw this. And then you have websites like this. Let me see what yesterday's data says. I haven't refreshed it yet. See, this like completely stands out. Uh, I have my own spreadsheet. I do my own data. So that's not what actually happened. So what actually happened was GBTC converted 26,936 Bitcoin from their Grayscale ETF, their GBTC ETF, into a new ETF that was launched by Grayscale, their mini trust. So the mini trust begins trading today, and it begins trading today with 27,000 Bitcoin. And they moved 27,000 Bitcoin from GBTC into BTC. Okay. But a lot of people don't have this line item yet, right? So when you look at something like this, it looks weird and scary, but in reality, 27,000 Bitcoin was transferred to another ETF that's not on a list like this website has. And GBTC on this day really only sold like 800 Bitcoin. And this is my own spreadsheet. So I was doing this morning. And by the way, it is 7:40 right now where I am. And now you almost have to combine these two line items. And GBTC actually sold 851 Bitcoins on Monday, not 27,000 Bitcoin. But when people saw that, why is my volume muted? Do you hear
Oh,
me?
it's not. Yeah, I can hear you fine, mate. It's just quiet. But you're
Okay,
speaking.
I'm
That's it.
I'm 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 speaking quiet. Somebody's sleeping. Hi. And uh, so okay, maybe I'll move it closer. I'll move my mic closer to me. So uh, GBTC only sold 851 Bitcoin, and they transferred a chunk to another Bitcoin ETF. We don't have any data on this ETF yet. It hasn't traded yet. It starts trading today. So it probably started trading already. So it should have a price, but like even Yahoo is not going to have it yet, probably for another day or two. So just keep that in mind that my data is going to be accurate. So this so far this week, it's not, well, like I actually need to update this, copy that, and paste it here. Uh, Paste special values. Okay, so this week so far, only 2,000 Bitcoin have been sold, and I haven't inputted Tuesday's data yet. So I'm gonna do this tomorrow for month end. I'll get today's data, and it's going to be accurate. Okay, but just want to make people aware that while right now, and this new line item, look at the fee. The fee is only 0.15% to be competitive with the other ETFs. In fact, it's lower than all the other ETFs. So this is a very competitive ETF. Uh, I mean, personally, I hate Grayscale, but that's a very competitive fee. So I can see people just switching and selling their Grayscale shares. Yes, they'll have to pay taxes on those shares, and then buying their new ETF uh, because it has a very competitive fee of 0.15%. Will it ever get the volume? I don't know. Personally, I would rather be in BlackRock or Fidelity, even though I pay a little more money. I pay 10 basis points more. I pay 0.1% more. But Grayscale literally launched. They have the most uncompetitive ETF, and then now they have the most competitive ETF in terms of fees. But they are starting so late that I don't know if they're going to get any momentum unless it's people selling this and entering this after paying their tax bill. So just keep that in mind. No, I mean, it's not that I support Larry Fink. I support the best, most liquid asset for my portfolio. It just happens to be Larry Fink, right? Like, for example, the mafia guy in my neighborhood is selling gold coins at spot, and another shop is selling gold coins at a 10% premium. Where am I going to buy my gold coins, right? Like, I don't really want to support the mafia guy, but why am I going to pay an extra 10% on my gold coin, right? So, it's the same thing here, right? It's not that I support Larry Fink, but why am I going to go and hold an illiquid ETF that may get delisted, that charges me a higher fee if I can hold a liquid ETF that I can easily get out versus an illiquid ETF where I may not be able to sell if panic begins. So it's not about support, it's about, financial sanity. So just people need to keep that in mind. Okay, so real quick on the Bitcoin price, I think once people understand what actually happened with GBTC, they're not going to panic, and I think the price is going to recover. The weekly chart is looking well. We're holding the highs. Here we have the 4-day chart, the allocation chart. The allocation chart looks okay. We still have 3 days to go. So going into the weekend, we're going to close this candle. Once again, I think once people understand what happened with GBTC, people aren't going to panic. Daily chart, we now have a second candle in a row with a nice wick along the bottom. We had another moving average crossover. I like this consolidation. I would prefer this consolidation, like I said earlier, I would prefer this consolidation between 68,000 and 70,000. Between 65,000 and 68,000 is okay. If we dip below 65 and we lose both of these moving averages again, it's time to be a little concerned, but with the green wave and the 200, rising, I'm still bullish here. It's not a big deal. The 4-hour chart, I really think we bottomed right here with the MRI on the 4-hour, creating the low. We held the MRI support line, and this morning we're rising. So there's really no levels here for breakout. I would say if the price of Bitcoin on a 4-hour goes above this line of 68,000, yeah, at the moment we go above 68,000, I think we're very likely to break out and go significantly higher. And we are right on schedule with the cycle chart. That's pretty much it for me, Matt. Your turn. Did I explain the GBTC thing like to a
Yeah.
basic level for everyone?
Yeah, you did, and I think that's was very valued in the when you see those posted sales of Bitcoin is a bit of a horrible thing to see. Makes a lot of sense. All right. Before I go any further, please like and subscribe. Please share with your friends, and please use the affiliate links in the description below. The bot is now in a trade. We entered a trade 5 to 10 minutes ago, so we'll see. The market has dropped. We'll go through that in a second. I like where Bitcoin stands right now, so let's crack on, shall we? Geez, you talking quiet has put me in like a real quiet mood as well, which is probably good for me. So I'll just keep going with that, after hours kind of voice. We have a fantastic 15% cash back on deposits on Blowfin right now, only available for the first 200 users with a maximum cap of 7,500. So that's about 50 grand deposited into your futures account. You can get 7,500 cash back. There's a few stipulations here. You have to hold it for a period of at least 7 days, and it's calculated the amount you have when what's called the promotion closes. So put it in there, leave it in your futures account, and at the August the 12th, 15% cash back on Blowfin. Hopefully by that time, Bangbox will be released on Blowfin, so it's a great opportunity to front run that. All right, let's have a gander. Daily time frame right now. I really like this pattern that we've got here with the low put in, a higher high put in, a higher low. I think that looks really good on the weekly time frame. We are below the 15. Sorry, the 7 simple moving average here on the daily, but that's fine for me. If it turns down, it's just this is just by the dip zone, guys. It's by the dip towards the end of the year. So there's nothing more to say on that. We'll finish the week really strong here in our analysis. We'll see how it plays out. The 4 hour is interesting, as Tone said. We just came up recently and just in the last 15 minutes popped up here and hit the 50 simple moving average here at 67,000 and have had a good correction off it since then. In the last 15 minutes, it's just dropped. But I agree with Tone. This looks like a bottoming pattern for me on the MRI bottom. The MRI with the green star looks really nice here. We'll see. I just like the fact that the whole structure of it, that we're higher than here over with that low that we put in there. I don't mind this at all. I don't mind this at all. I'm really interested to see what the 1 hour looks like, because you'll see that yeah, it touched on near on the 200, nearly got above all the moving averages. This looks like a really interesting point. I think that's natural that we had the breakout of here and it scooted up really quickly and then faded away. But I think this can rebuild over the day and finish really strongly and break out of this zone here. I'll go to the 15-minute time frame now to have a look at how the Bangbox trade's going, which won't be going good right now because it just the market just tanked the minute the trade was entered, but I'm not concerned at all. So here we go. This is what Bangbox looks like in real time, guys. We entered the trade at start of candle here. The price dropped all the way down, came back and retested the 128-day. We got a stop loss in place down here. I think this can rally back up and put in a good trade. I mean, I've been watching this all day, saying to the team, we're only hours away from when we were down here. I said, look, in the next few hours, we're getting in a trade here. And I really like how this looks, that we came down, riding below the 128-day, get above it. We can start the recovery from here. I don't mind that it had that flash crash there at all. That makes sense to me. But I think this will rebuild in the next, maybe it'll of course, 2 minutes left. It'll finish down here. But I think in the next hours or so, this can rebuild and we can put in a profitable Bangbox trade here. We'll see how it goes. If you'd like to use this bot, it's a totally free bot. Links in the description below. Just have to use the affiliate links. Tone, I'm coming back to you now. We'll see how that plays out. Just quick recap on the stocks. How did the stocks go last night? How's market open look?
Just to let you know, your Bangbox broke a cardinal sin of Tom Vase. Never trade between 9 a.m. and never trade pre-market, never trade between 9 a.m. and 10 a.m. and it executed a trade. So, what time is it now? It is 2 minutes before 10 a.m. And is anyone surprised that Bitcoin is reversing? Here comes another 10 a.m. reversal. I have the 5-minute charts. This right here is the 940 candle. This is the 9. So the market opens right here. it starts to go down, and on a 1 minute chart, the market reversed at 9:55 a.m. That is close enough to 10 a.m. And here we go. The market is reversing. The 5 minute candles, we had a MRI top, a 1 to 4 candle correction, and we are now rising. Someone asked a question about the 200-day moving average and whether we can go, below it, sufficiently below it, and spend a few months there, maybe reach 40,000. I think that is very unlikely.
Me too.
Honestly, I think going below the 200-day moving average, the top of this wave is the 200-day moving average. Going below the 200-day moving average, like we did back here, and recovering like this is a bit of an anomaly. I mean, the last time we went below the 200-day moving average, we were ending the bear market. So I think going below the 200-day is a lot less likely than breaking out to 100K. I like going back below 60. I mean, we're not that far away, so maybe it's not that uncommon, but going below this moving average and actually staying there for a long time, I think it's unlikely. I honestly don't think we're going below 60 ever. Well, ever is a long time, but the probability I give to us, spending this many candles like we did last month below the 200-day moving average, I give that like a 10 to 15% probability. If we, I don't think we're going below 60. I don't think we're going below this candle. I think we're going to recover like this week. I think this low of 64,000 won't even be broken. That's just my opinion. So we'll see what happens. Gold is breaking out nicely, and gold breaking out the new highs is very bullish for Bitcoin. It means that people want to hold an alternative asset, and Bitcoin is as safe, if not safer, than gold. And the stock market looks like we had an MRI buy opportunity here yesterday, and today we're up nicely. Same thing with the futures market. Today's a Fed call. I'm not going to be able to bring you a stream, guys, but it's going to be completely uneventful. The Fed is not lowering the rate. There's a 97% confidence that the Fed is not going to lower the rate. And let's see what else we got here. And that's it. NASDAQ is up very nicely as well. I think the markets are recovering.
Yep.
I think we're about to turn back to the upside. Once again, keep an eye on like GBTCs converting into BTC. There is a whole different spec sheet. This is GBTC. This is BTC. Grayscale did not sell 27,000 Bitcoin. They converted 27,000 Bitcoin from this ETF to their other ETF. So whoever manages this website, that I do like because it makes it super simple, you may want to add another ETF here, Grayscale's BTC ETF. And this 27,000 Bitcoin that was lost is actually inside the other ETF. So just keep that in mind.
I don't like their ticker. That's a bit clever for me.
Yeah.
So,
Again, someone in the audience just wrote, "I can't believe Grayscale sold 27,000 Bitcoin." They didn't sell it. Or if they sold it, they rebought it from themselves. But people panicked. So it's not the 27,000 Bitcoin that affected the Bitcoin price in the last 24 hours. It's the fact that people panicked, thinking that Grayscale sold 25,000 Bitcoin, 27,000 Bitcoin, but they didn't. They might have technically sold it, but they sold it to themselves. So it's not like it affected liquidity on the exchanges. So just keep that in mind. The website says so. Right, but you also have to use your brain. And there's a lot of websites that say a lot of things. They sold it to themselves for another ETF.
They had to sell it because they couldn't do in-kind transfer.
Right.
But
They couldn't transfer it, so like they have to sell it, but they sell it to themselves, right?
yeah, awesome.
So they sold it. Whatever makes you happy. What I'm saying is there are sales that affect the price of an asset, and there are sales that don't. Okay. When you sell a house to your sister and no one knows it happened, did the house really get sold? So I was right. No, you weren't right. Because it needs to be explained that uh, it didn't affect liquidity. Okay. That's it for me, man.
All right, man. Awesome.
All right. Thanks for watching, guys, and we'll see you all on the next one. Bye, guys.